Yes, I know that title is a big statement, but when it comes to horror, A24 just knows how to pick them. Now, I watch a lot of horror movies year-round, which means it takes a little bit of extra effort to truly rattle me. So when I tell you that Talk to Me actually had me looking away from the screen a few times, you know it's for a good reason. Here's the premise. A group of high school friends discover how to communicate with spirits using an embalmed hand. There's a viral video going around online of teens having a great time getting briefly possessed by these spirits. Our main character, Mia, wants to find out if this is the real deal, and it seems like it is, but here's the main rule. Don't let this go on for longer than 90 seconds or the spirit you welcomed in is going to want to stay. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I know what you're thinking. Sounds like your basic possession movie featuring a cursed artifact, right? Well, not really, and I'm so excited that with Talk to Me, we finally have a refreshing take on the possession subgenre. It will lift your spirits and make sure you're not going to sleep anytime soon. Just like a great cup of coffee. Speaking of which, if you haven't discovered your true coffee soulmate to bring your spirit back to your body in the morning, the delicious sponsor of today's video, Trade Coffee, will help you out. I am a big fan of coffee. The word blend is in my channel name for a reason, so I am not one to settle for the sad taste of grocery store coffee that's stale, dull, or burnt, and you shouldn't either. Why make it a basic, quick caffeine fix when you can actually enjoy the flavor and the aroma? Trade will curate a selection of coffee specifically for you based on your taste preferences and your favorite brewing method, and deliver it to your door on a flexible subscription schedule. The coffee is always shipped within 48 hours of being roasted, so you can enjoy it while it's fresh and full of flavor, making sure that the cup of coffee you're having at home every day is your best cup of coffee. What's even better is that this coffee is ethically sourced and comes from independent roasters around the country, so as you're enjoying your new favorite blends, you're also helping support small businesses. I have recently discovered this Flying Monkey Espresso from PT's Coffee, and it is just the perfect thing for my morning latte. And of course, I have a special offer for you, my friends. Right now, if you use my link, drinktrade.com/impressionblend, you will get a free bag of coffee with any subscription. And who doesn't want a free bag of coffee? We're all adults here. This is necessary. So follow the link below to discover new delicious coffee blends and get started with a free bag. Thank you so much to Trade Coffee for sponsoring this video. Now back to the thrills of spirit possession. What makes this movie so special and so terrifying? First of all, Talk to Me takes a different approach and treats these brief possession episodes as a high. Without getting into the details of how the ritual works, the point of doing it is enjoying an intense experience while having your friends there to stop you at the right time before you go too far. It's a seemingly safe thrill, but as these teens get hooked on it, it's not long until things go too far, and the consequences are horrifying. It's an interesting idea worth exploring as a metaphor and as a different approach to the mechanics of possession itself. I also want to note that it's so good to see teenagers behave and talk in a realistic way. It's surprising how rarely this is the case in movies, and it seems silly that I even have to point this out, but the characters felt like actual teenagers. And before you tell me they are so stupid to want to get possessed for fun, I just want to ask, how many of you, let's say, tried to summon Bloody Mary, or maybe tried to have a seance, messed around with a spirit board, or even tried to look for ghosts at an abandoned building? Have you done any of that at least once growing up? Because a lot of people have. There is nothing unrealistic about it. I do also want to shout out the very talented young cast, and particularly Sophie Wilde, whose emotional performance drives the dramatic aspect of the film. You can't really tell this from the trailers, which sell the movie as a much more action-packed adrenaline ride, but Talk to Me is working with some heavy themes of grief and loneliness that require more from the actors than your average horror flick. But let's finally talk about the horror itself. You know from the very first scene it means business, and every time it wants to get under your skin, it's going to. As if the concept of possession isn't scary enough, The filmmakers also put the effects of it front and center. This isn't your typical body contortions and speaking in tongues stuff either. Each person's possession experience is unique because it depends on the spirit they're communicating with, and you are going to see what's going on no matter how gross or disturbing it gets. The camera stays zeroed in on whatever is unfolding for an uncomfortably long time without cutting away, and things can go from weird fun to nightmare very quickly. You do also see some of the spirits, and they are a terror in their own right. The makeup and prosthetics in the film are top tier, whether it comes to the spirits, the characters themselves, or the gore. Things look messed up, and as I mentioned, the movie is not going to cut away from any of this. You're going to see it all. Combined with a tense score and excellent sound design, it's all very effective. On top of the visual horror, there's also a strong psychological element. The main character is trying to deal with a tragic event in her life that left her longing for connection, and that's something that gets explored here and plays a big role in the story. Loneliness and grief have been a big theme in horror films for decades, but I have to say, I haven't seen it approached quite like this. And the ending, absolutely chilling. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it will stay with you. Talk to Me is easily the scariest film I've seen, not just this year, but in the past few years. And if you are a horror fan looking for something new and exciting, this is your movie. Danny and Michael Filippo delivered the nightmares, and at a tight 95 minutes, the movie doesn't waste any time. Any minor horror tropes or moments of movie logic can easily be forgiven because it's just so great to see a fresh take on the possession subgenre. Between the very talented cast, the amazing makeup work, and the filmmaker's patience to keep the camera on those disturbing moments for an uncomfortably long time, Talk to Me is quite a treat for horror fans. It has the scares, it has a great story, it has an emotional element to bring it all together, and I doubt I will see another horror movie this year that's going to be able to top this one.
Talk to me.